Hey guys, it's Dag, and it is Tataru Tuesday. I gotta get used to saying that because I've been saying Taco Tuesday, and Taco Tuesday doesn't describe exactly what I'm doing, but Tataru does. I am playing Final Fantasy XIV, and I've got Chad Fist. He's up here, right there, and he is leveling through patch 2.5. And soon we'll be hitting, hopefully, he'll be hitting 2.55 today, which is the last patch that Enix dropped before the first expansion of Final Fantasy XIV was put into place, and which is, of course, Heavensward. And I have been leveling him faithfully through the storyline and sharing the storyline with you as I go. Because I've never seen any of this. Unlike a lot of the other games that I play, I have not leveled a character to max level in Final Fantasy XIV. And so this is all brand new to me, and the gameplay, how to maneuver through the game, everything, it's all brand new. So I'm a noob, I admit it, and that's part of the fun. So come and join me, and we'll have some fun with this. Today, if you haven't joined me before, I do a holiday of the day. And today's holiday is, I have to go look, Another Look Unlimited Day. And Another Look Unlimited Day has to do with going through your shit that you have accumulated and determining how much of it you can actually get rid of. How much of this stuff do you not use any longer, and how much of it can you donate to charity? So we're not talking taking your stuff and throwing it in the trash. Although I'm sure there's going to be some stuff that you look and go, fuck this, I'm not doing this anymore. This reminds me of my ex, or whatever the case is. I am burning it. This is about looking to see what you can donate to other people. And donation, Wifey and I do donations a couple times a year. We go through our closet and through our garage and do stuff. Particularly where we are, where we're transitioning into a new lifestyle, because recently Wifey retired and I've been retired for a couple of years, and we're finding that, hey, I haven't touched this stuff for a couple of years now because I don't wear this to work anymore, and I'm not planning on working in the near future. And if I did, I probably would go and look for new outfits or whatever, you know, based on whatever people are wearing at the time. So when I retired, I was like in fuzzy slippers and sweatpants, and then had a nice shirt on above, right? Because everything was remote. But that's no longer the case. Some people are having to go back to work and all that. So anyway, the bottom line is that if you have not taken a look in your closet lately, go look, see if there's clothes that are in decent order that you're not planning on wearing anymore, and put them out for donation. Take them to the Salvation Army, take them to whatever charity that is local to you, and donate them so that other people can get some good use out of them. That's the whole idea. So let's move on. Chad needs to talk to Edelstein. That's where he is right now. So let's get into this. And as soon as my screen comes back up, there we go. Hey Edelstein, what's up? Private Fist, my soldiers yet tell tales of your deeds during Operation Archon. Yeah, okay. With that, that we could sit a while and reminisce about old times, but I fear more pressing matters require our attention. The civilian draughtsmen, you see, have come across several highly suspicious crates within the boundaries of the processing plant. Yay! I had my sappers take a close look, and my worst fears were confirmed. These boxes contain powerful explosive devices. Devices of Imperial design, no less. Oh, so you're going to go send out Chad to go punch some boxes and get rid of them, I guess? By my order, the Flames stationed here are conducting a thorough sweep of the compound as we speak. Though it troubles me that we were unable to apprehend the Imperial spy behind this, I have faith that our men will be able to neutralize the threat for now. In the meantime, our scouts bring troubled news on the latest movements of the Imperial Army. I would once again ask for your aid. And I'll take that, Gil, thanks. And, okay, Insulted Intelligence. I guess I have to talk to him now. Oh. On the counteroffensive. Okay. Lieutenant Edelstein wishes to share a report with you concerning the Garleans' movements. I don't know. Do I want to know about Garleans' movements? That's more information about Garleans that I really want to know, right? We've been keeping a close eye on the Garlean garrison, and it would seem the Imperials have finally begun to mobilize. According to the reconnaissance report that just came in, the squads seen leaving the castrum are too few in number to effectively take and hold our position. They will likely mount a swift assault and focus on acquisition of resources. I have, of course, also shared this report with Crystal Braves. They've decided to take to the field to meet this assault head-on. I have apprised your fellow scions of the situation, and I'm heartened to know that they will be joining the effort. Pray report to Lieutenant Alian and lend your much welcome strength to the counteroffensive. Alright, so I gotta go find Alian, and looks like that's just over here somewhere, so is it inside or is it... Yep, looks like it's outside on the other side of the building. There. And cutscene. Glad to have you with us, Chad. As I am sure Lieutenant Edelstein has explained, the Garleans have deployed a small force from Castrum Meridianum. The main column assembles to the north near Dalamud's Talons, but we've also spied several squads attempting to conceal themselves on the approach to the west. And inconsistent. Gilbert says they wish you to rush forth and commit to battle with the main column, leaving the detached force free to raid the planet and pillage supplies. Not much of a strategy, but these are desperate men. Captain Ilbert. Huh. Okay, greetings, Scion. I understand the commander bids you and your fellows come lend a hand to the Braves. With such mighty heroes at its disposal, the Fourth should have little trouble contending with aught the Garleans might throw at them. But even you cannot be everywhere at once. The Third was getting restless holed up in Ul'dah, so I marched them out here to fill any holes in the plant's defenses and add their numbers to your counterattack. The reinforcements are welcome. We've enough soldiers now to divide our own force and safely engage the enemy far beyond the walls. It would be best to avoid staging a battle anywhere near this much ceruleum. Let's take this fight to the Garleans. A wise course, indeed. I shudder to think the consequences should any of these storage tanks be exposed to fire. If there are no objections, the Scions shall join the Fourth and give battle to this main column. Everyone nods. You're with the Third, then, Warrior of Light. Your job will be to intercept these squads hiding out in the west and prevent them from reaching the processing plant. Okay. Now remember, he lost his light last time we played, and so I'm thinking, I don't know whether that affects his gameplay. We'll find out, you know. When you're ready to proceed, report to Lieutenant Yu Hase. His scouts should have rough idea of where the Imperials have concealed themselves by now. And everyone walks away, including the Scions and Palpanio and everything. Okay, fine. And I need to go talk to Yu Hase, who is... where? How far away? Far enough away to get on a mount? Maybe not. Just up here. Your safety cannot be, what? Guaranteed once you leave these gates. Okay. I don't care. I'm Chad Fist. As long as my hair is upkeep, it's fine. A pleasure to be fighting at your side once more, Scion. Our operations invariably succeed when you're around, and victories are wont to pave the road to greater coin. Yeah, that's a good way of thinking, I guess. Now, this detached force we've been sent to eliminate has split into smaller squads, the better to conceal themselves within the terrain hereabout. I imagine we'll need to split ourselves up as well to cover more ground and make sure we root out all of these would-be raiders. What about the boxes of bomb shit? Is that taken care of already? And seeing as you're an army unto yourself, I've assigned you your own areas to scour clean of enemy soldiers. Fine. You're going to send me out by myself, yeah. Do I look like I can be trusted to be out by myself? No, no. I need adult supervision at all times. Come on now. Aye, this will be simple search and destroy. We'll rendezvous back here when the task is done. Happy hunting, Scion. Adios. All right, and where do I go? I need to go... oh, straight through this area. Okay, we're going to jump on a mount for this, though, because I don't know how long it'll take to get over other stuff. Especially, like, canyons. Oh, just here. All right. Now, here's the fun part. I probably want to be on the opposite side of this when I go into the circle. Because if I go into the circle on the small end of things, I just may end up getting plowed. Oh, and I got all kinds of critters here. Okay, well, here we go. Oh, shit. I'm going to have to go on the other side anyway. Okay, I got rid of that one. Am I getting the next guy? Yeah, I guess. Let's see if I can turn around. Alright, one left. Well, at the moment, one left. Defeat the Imperial Squad. They have been defeated. Okay, where's my heal now? Because this is something I, like, is new to me. I keep forgetting to heal. I don't need that. Arm's length. Second wind. That's right. And now it's out of commission for a minute 20. Okay, that's fine. Do I need to go? Oh, I need to go to a different area up here. Probably, what side? Just on the other side of the rock? I won't be able to get there from here. Huh. Yeah, I gotta go around. Okay, we got a cohort that needs to be taken out. I'm sitting here, I'm looking at my screen and everything's like bigger. I don't know why. I don't think I changed anything, but it's like, that's fine, whatever. This is slightly behind, but it's not bothering me much. Obviously it is, but... Okay, we got Earth Sprites in there. Are they going to bug me too? And we got one of those big guys. Okay, where's the hostile presence? Well, there's the big guy. Okay. Yep. Get out of both of their paths. Oh, I didn't even see the Reaper there. Oops. Oh, this guy. Hello. So I'm gathering that my health goes up pretty fast, but probably I need to start eating stuff, huh? This is something that I haven't had to do in the game so far. So, do I have food that I can actually consume that's going to give me enough? A chicken egg, hey. But I do have... No, that's animal skin. Marmot eat. I don't know. I don't know whether marmot meat is safe to eat. Maybe it is. Nope, I have to look for a recipe. Never mind. Oh, there are marmot steaks. I'm going to use it. I guess I can eat that. Okay, I am going to drag, if they allow me to have an inventory object down there. Yeah. So that might be something of value moving forward. Fantasia doesn't help me. I've got an antidote, ether, high potion, and what's the high potion do? Restores a fair amount of HP. That's probably a good thing to have on my bar too, huh? I'm going to stick it like right smack in the middle of everything. Okay. For the time being, that will probably be good. And where am I going now? I got to go back. Is this one over here? On the counteroffensive. Okay, so I need to go back. And then the other thing that's showing up is the raid. Okay. All right, so we're going to hop on a chicken or something. There we go. We're on a phoenix. You can fly no higher. There's Yuyahasi. Hi. Get rid of my chicken. You seem grim, Scion. I'll take that to mean that between us, more than a few Garleans won't be making it back to the castrum. These Imperials, though, they certainly made us earn our pay. I would be a happy man if I never had to tussle with another of those Magitech whores. Yeah, they were kind of a pain, huh? It is time we bid this war-torn land farewell. I will contact the 4th and let Lieutenant Alian know the west is now clear. I would appreciate it if you would do the same when you report to Lieutenant Edelstein. I shall do that. I guess I got to go back inside and talk to Edelstein. Oh, God. You know, yeah. This mount is kind of a pain in the ass. I mean, it's cool looking and everything. But, yeah. Just takes up a lot of room. Private Fist, what news of the Garleans? And I let him know. The raiding parties are no more, then? Excellent. The Amagina engineers will be most relieved to hear that the plant is no longer in any immediate danger. Thank you again for your assistance. Alright, and let's see. I think there were only 4 quests left in 2.5, so I want to see. I just want to jump to the website real quick. And it says here that in memory of... Oh, I need to take the next quest in order to figure out where I am, I guess. An uninvited Ascian. Okay. Appears to be concerned for Moan Brida's well-being. Oh, you must be anxious for word of your fellows. Ancient Elian has reported a sound victory over the main column and informs me that the Scions have already turned their attention to other duties. All but one, that is. The Roigjenden lady with a large axe. Oh, she had an axe? I didn't... Yeah. Twould appear she was chosen to remain at the site of the battle. I know not what tasks keep her from returning to civilization, but Northern Thanalan is no place to wander alone, even for the capable sort such as her. I would certainly feel better about things if you could check in on her before you continue on your way. Now, she's probably doing some kind of an experiment, right? I mean, that's kind of why she wanted to stay. So we're going to go and check to see where she is. And that is an uninvited Ascian. Okay, back to the website. Let's see what it says. An uninvited Ascian. So we're like 2 quests away. Ooh, I don't want to look. I just saw something I didn't want to look at. Oh no. Okay. So we're going to go and check in on her and see what's going on. I'll get on my Magitech and ride. And she seems like she's just out here. Out in the Basilisk area. Oh, I've got a Basilisk yelling at me. Okay. You gonna come get me? Alright, fine. Is it walking away? That one's walking away. This one is not. Come here. Come here, big eyes. I don't know if the basilisk is still trying to chew my face off or not. It looks like it's coming after me now. I thought it walked away. Damn. All right, let's go talk to Moen. Moen Faucets, what's up? Hold on, I won't be a second. And I'm looking around. The beast seemed peckish, so I gave it a taste of my axe. Ah, okay. I know, as Uringer never tires of reminding me, an axe ill becometh the hand of a scholar. What can I say? I like axes. I hear my mother tell it. I came into this world holding one. And it's not as if it stopped me picking up a quill, is it? I often think of the man who introduced me to the joys of learning. He's one of the reasons I decided to come to Eorzea. Him and my excruciatingly stiff childhood friend. Considering how unalike we are, it's a wonder we ever got on. The world's a strange old place, isn't it? Aye, that ought to do it. Okay, I need coffee. Hang on. Oh. And now I need more coffee. Because that one was cold. Much better. Okay. That ought to do it. And she's collecting the ether. So far, so good. At these concentrations, it shouldn't matter too much if anything goes awry. Just enough ether to make it interesting. Did you see that? The way the crystal glowed? Yes, I did. The siphon works, I'm happy to say. With a few refinements, it should satisfy our appetite for ether, which just leaves the small matter of forging our blade. I'm not sure how to go about that just yet, but I swear to find a way. I'll put a blade in your hands if it's the last thing I do. Okay. I like my fist weapons. Oh, he senses me a useful talent. There's an Ashian over there somewhere. Right? Yeah. Yeah, an Ashian. Are they unto us? Apparently. By your brand, I see you are an Archon of Charlayan, keeper of knowledge, seeker of truth, meddler. I don't know what the hell's you're saying, but I don't much like your tone. Your instincts serve you well, but be not unsettled on my account. That lovely brow was not made for frowns. But I waste my breath. Yeah, she has eyes for someone else. Let me direct my words to one who understands them. We meet at last, warrior of light. I am Nabrialis. And you have long been a thorn in my side. I suffered the overweening presence of La Habrea that men might host the power of gods, only for you to undo my hard work. Yeah, I don't think that's going to end well. Do settle down. You must concede that I acted in self-defense. But what's this? I do not sense the blessing of light? Oh dear, could it be that frail Heidelin has forgotten her champion? This I did not foresee. Shorn of light as you are no longer a threat. And better yet, the seal is broken. Now is the time to claim the staff. With it in my grasp, I shall rise above them all and take my place at Lord Zodiark's right hand. Zodiark? Okay. So he's the Zodiac's killer, right? Ugh. What did that bastard want with us? Oh, she's still standing. That's good. Don't you know? Nibrialis, he calls himself. With charm like that, I'll bet he has maidens falling at his feet. Unconscious. Okay. But this staff, you say, just talking about it has the bastard grinning like a brat on his name day? Must be quite a staff. Okay. I'm not saying it. Oh, gods, he means Tupsi Mati, a Master Louisois staff. Oh, okay. That's broken now, isn't it? Menphilia's in danger. We have to get back to the Rising Stones. Oh, she has it hanging, the broken staff hanging on the wall. Yeah. Okay. So we need to go back to where? Oh, we need to go back to the Rising Stone, of course. Okay. So teleport all the way down, reverence toll. And here we go. Come on, Moen, let's go. I was going the wrong way. Which door? This one over here. See all those quests on my mini-map over here? It's like, wait, what am I supposed to be looking at? I don't understand. Too much. Yes, I'm going to enter the Rising Stone. And here I is. You're here. Yes. We just, like, teleported over, right? Master Louisois' staff is kept in the solar, isn't it? Quickly now. Menacing music. It is gone. You too. So you were able to divine my intent. By now, the Warrior of Light. Ah, but that name is no longer fitting. You have become decidedly dull, and quite incapable of barring my entry. What do you mean? You truly do not know? Then I suppose it is only right that I enlighten you. The blessing of light kept you and your fellow meddlers safe. It was that which prevented my kind from entering your domain. My kind, I say, though it had no power over the likes of Elidibius and La Habrea. Being of this world, they could come and go as they please, while I could only look on. So he's from a different something, dimension. But I need look no longer. Now that the seal is gone, I mean to act. Unlike the others, I am not given to waiting. I shall take that staff and bring about the next rejoining. So I'm guessing the rejoining is connecting the two dimensions. Ooh, that's ugly, because they're like, everything's black and dark and kind of, yeah, okay. Rejoining, then it was your doing, the Isle of Val, the scholars, all of it. Probably. He likes jumping around. You will not harm her. And he puts, like, a hole right through her. Moen! Oh, no. Why must you insist on forcing my hand? Did you learn nothing from our last meeting? Ah, but I forget. My words fall upon deaf ears. The staff is but a broken relic, a memorial to the departed. What possible use could you have for it? What use? You mean to say that all this time you kept the key, never knowing what it was you possessed? High drama here. The staff, Tupsi Mati, or rather the stone tablet it bears, is host to a great power. Oh, so so there's a little stone tablet that's taped to the top. Okay. All right. Together with the horn, it can be used to draw vast quantities of ether from the bearer's surroundings. How else do you think Louisoix was able to invoke the power of the 12 without making them an offering of crystals? Summoning requires not only prayer, but a profusion of ether. Even a child knows that. If I did not know before, you may be certain I do now, but above all, I know that we cannot allow this staff to fall into your hands. I will die before I let you take it. Insufferable woman, I would happily end your miserable life here and now. Alas, Eladibus would never let me hear the end of it. Very well. If you will not part with the staff, I will take you too. Uh-oh. That's not good. Socks her in. Gone. And so is he. Adios, amigos. And she's bleeding out something. But she's not bleeding out. So, after them quickly before the rift closes. Oh, so you want me to just, like, leave you dying on the floor. Okay. Alright, Chad, what are you going to do? The Chrysalis is now available. The duty finder has been updated. Oh! The Chrysalis, what is it? And it's an entrance for something. Confront Nerebialis in the Chrysalis. Okay, so I guess we got to do that. So is it a duty? I gather it is. Let's see. No, I'm not duly roulette high level dungeons. Let's see. Main scenario stuff, though, right? Yep, no. Let's go here. No, don't see anything there. Is that what I'm looking for? The Chrysalis? I thought. That's what I got to do, right? Yeah, I got to go do the Chrysalis. So is this not letting me do it? Oh, maybe it's over here? Nope, that's a raid. It's not PvP. So it's got to be here. What am I doing wrong that this doesn't light up? I'm going to join. See what happens. Hopefully that was what I wanted. You return to the Rising Stones to find Nerebialis already in the solar with Menophilia, the antecedent clutching the shards of the broken Tupsimati with the dismissive contempt. The Ascians reveals his plan to use the power yet hidden within the staff. Oh, this is like 16 minutes I gotta hang out. Within the staff to bring about a new rejoining. He then tears open a dimensional rift, though which he escapes through both the Menophilia and the relics she holds. Follow near the end of the rift and put a stop to this. Okay. And am I supposed to just like jump in? Is that... It says entrance. I don't know. Obtaining data. Yeah, I already did. so you get... I think that's what I'm waiting for, right? No, I didn't... Daily roulette. No, I didn't want... Oh. Did I click on the wrong thing? Yeah, I did. Okay. I need to withdraw. Take this out because that's probably why I couldn't click it, right? Duh. All right, join. That's better. 7 minutes. All right, so I won't have to, like, stand here and wait for 16. Although I could have taken a break, right? Actually, I am going to take a quick break and, nope, no, I'm not. Let's commence. Let's get into this. And here we go. Maybe. Yeah. It's a light party. As opposed to what? A dark party? And I'm looking around because I've never been in this before. And so people are probably going, okay, we got a noob with us. Menophilia. Alright, I have no idea what this guy does in this fight, so we will find out, I guess. Oh, we got all kinds of people. Okay. I cannot tell. Get rid of this. I wanted to get rid of it. Fine. There. Now I can see what's going on. Where'd he go? Oh, we got all these things we gotta take care of? Okay. I have no idea what I'm doing. This is not good. But I'm going to come over here. Oh, that's like half of my health there. That wasn't good. Okay, can we like start hitting on this guy again? I'm not going to stand and shit. I am not going to go down that way. He's about 50% down, so that's a good thing. Ooh. I'm just going with you guys. It's going to bring in more dudes. No, it's just going to bounce back and forth. Ooh, I don't want to be there. And we got these things again. Ooh. Let's see. Got rid of that. Got rid of that one. We get rid of them all? Looks like it. Okay. Shit. Invalid target. Okay, what happened? Oh, we all got pushed into something else. Okay. Looks like something I gotta kill, so we'll do that. Now what? Back with him. I was gonna say, he's got to be dead now. Yes! Secret Asian man. Secret Asian man. Okay. Monophilia has been saved. Huh, yeah. Yep. Yay! Is there... There's just an exit. Come on, Monophilia. Do I talk to you? My thanks. You're welcome. Let's go. I'm back. You're safe. Thank the 12. Yes, but how about you? You look a little worse for Warren. This dude is getting sucked into the in-between. Oh shit, he's back. Same dude? You may have bested me this day, but what of next? What of all the days to come? Oh. So he just like goes and evaporates his old body. Remember, light no longer holds sway here. I may return whensoever I wish. Again and again and again. Eventually you will falter and the staff will be mine. Until next time, scions. What are you going to do? Oh. There's some ether in there. Let's see what she does. There will be no next time. This is the end. We'll see if it works. Apparently it is working. Unless it gets sucked in. What trickery is this? Oh no! No! You cannot! No! Guess what? You are now etherbound. You're in a very small little cube. Use Tupsimati to gather ether quickly before he breaks free. All right. I need to pick up the staff, or the broken staff. And what do? Oh, I guess it's going to work. Concentrate. Call to mind the time you struck down La Habrea and the Blade of Light. With the Blade of Light. Why won't it work? Is it because we lack the blessing of light? Damn it, so much ether, and still isn't enough. Fools, no mortal prison can contain me. I shall make you pay for your insolence. Yeah, of course you will. And... please, Mother Heidelin, hearken to our plea. Lend us your divine light. Why can you not hear us? Do our words no longer reach you? If only we had a bit more ether. What are you going to do, Moen? Moon, what are you doing? Master Louis Sois, I understand now the choice you made. In death there is life. Farewell, Uranger, you daft old coot. She just stands there and looks. No! And she goes into the light. I'm sorry. Don't go to the light! What? No, it cannot end! I am eternal! I am immortal! Ah. Goodbye. Not anymore. And Moen did it. And the staff is still broken. One Brita. She's gone. Yes, no kidding. She kind of went poof into the ether. You did it, my friend. The Ascian is dead. And that is the end of 2.5. This device is a legacy of Moenbrin's toil and sacrifice. Oh no, nothing ever ends quickly, right? I shall hold on to it for safekeeping. This is going to go on and on and on. Menophilia, are you all right? I am. We were surveying northern Thanalan when we received the distress call. We returned as swiftly as we were able. It seems you have everything in hand, however. Oh, Thancred, if you only knew. Wait, what happened here? Where's Moenbrita? Yeah, exactly. Now, I liked her character. That's too bad they offed her. I thought she was like gonna get with Uranger, and she gave her life to temper the Blade of Light. I have no words. Rather than await the inevitable, she took her fate into her own hands. Does Does Uringe know? He will now. My friend, there's something I must tell you. I heard all, my lady. The moon sinketh, taking her leave of the heavens, yet her passing heraldeth the coming of a new day. When Breda hath fulfilled her destiny, hath she not? Long ago, far across the seas of the Charlean motherland, Moin Breda and I did study under the sage tutelage of Master Louisoix. Full oft did he impress upon us that knowledge existeth to serve the greater good. This sentiment, however, was contrary to the nation's policy of neutrality, which censures intercedence in the affairs of foreign lands. In spite of vehement opposition, he founded the Circle of Knowing and journeyed hither to the heart of Eorzea. Through his noble sacrifice was the realm spared its doom. Yet this great soul, whom all should rightly have honored, was branded a pariah in his own land. His peers did accuse him of forsaking his duty as a man of learning and of meddling in the course of history. See, I told you it was just going to go on and on and on. Yeah. So, Uringe doesn't let things die. It's like, when he left Charlean behind, Master Louisoix gave no word to signal his intent to Moin Breda. Close as they were as master and disciple, she was deeply wounded by the sudden exclusion from his confidence. Above all, however, she was confused. Try as she might, she could ill comprehend her master's motive. The slanders that were heaped upon him after his passing served only to inflame the turmoil within her. For years upon end, she did not know what to believe, torn as she was twixt the man whom she revered and the man who forsook her and her duty both. The Louisoix I knew would never forsake his duty, much less one of his own. This I know full well, my lady. 'Twas not for want of love that Master Louisoix hid his intent, but he desired that Moin Breda discover her own path, free of the shadow of his influence. Long did I contemplate revealing the truth to her, and long did I hold my peace. After all, was it not Master Louisoix's wish that she come to the truth unaided? I told her myself it was, and resolved to let her suffer. Knowingly did I deny my friend the comfort she craved, and now she hath gone to her rest with doubt still in her heart. Yeah, Uringe, you old coot. Dude, it wasn't your fault. Speakest thou earnest? Did Moin Breda truly come to understand Master Louisoix' will before the end? The realization hath set her free. She may now find the peace which hath for so long eluded her. Oh, Moin Breda, my dearest, how I shall miss thee. You should have told her while she was still alive, you idiot. Moin Breda gave her life that we might possess the means to defeat the Ascians. Her sacrifice must not be in vain. Let us continue her work on the Blade of the Ether and see it to completion. My lady, I would mourn Moin Breda in mine own way. I beg your permission to return to the waking sands. Of course, my friend, take all the time you require. We shall be here should you have need of us. Bummer. All right, and I did that. So, yeah. Let's see. More cutscene. Palpa Mio is contemplating. Everyone's contemplating. They're all looking down. They're all staring at their navels. This is strange. A moment of silence, please. Never have I seen Orange so utterly defeated. No one should be made to suffer such grief. We shall gather in the Charlalian manner to celebrate Moenbryda's life and mourn her passing. Okay, so we're going to a funeral now, huh? I got to pick Heavensward Materia 4. Oh, okay. So direct hit rate, critical hit. That's what I need is critical hit. Of course, I have no idea how to use any of that stuff. So if any of you know how to use the stuff I just picked up, that would be good, right? The materia. I guess it's, you forge it with your armor and your gear, right? Except I don't know where, do you have to go back out to the troll, I guess, that does that and forge your gear there? As Moenbryda was a native of Charlalian, I feel it is only fitting that we gather before the mark of the scholar. Are you familiar with the stone? 'Tis a monument found at Rothefrost and is sacred to Thaliak, guardian deity of the city of learning. There shall be pray for our dear friend's soul. Bid her a peaceful return to the light of the Mother Crystal. And I got to go show respect at the mark, wherever that happens to be. Let's see. Show me on the map. So, Reverence Toll. Oh, okay. So I just go out and travel. All right. I can do that, I guess. Let's exit here. And we'll exit to Reverence Toll. And go outside, and then we're going to take a quick break, actually. Because I needed to take one like 25 minutes ago or so, and it's like, oh, we got the thing to jump into. So I will be back in a flash. Hang in there. Hey guys, I'm back. Thank you for allowing me to take a quick break. And we're going to jump in and let's see what's going on. I need to travel someplace, and it's like not that far. It was down below, if I remember. Yeah, it's down here. Okay. I know, I could get on a mount. We do that now. I'm on my chicken! So I have found that I am having memory issues. Not me personally. No, that's not what I meant. But I am having issues with my computer's memory. And some of the stuff is like sucking up. I don't know what it is. It's probably the fact that I've got so much shit open. But yeah, that's more than likely what it is. All right, so we're here, and that just tells me I need to build my new system sooner than later. But I have no place to put it. That's the problem. It's like, yeah, I need to finish my streaming area that I'm redoing, and yeah, it's just. So that's the reason why I decided to stop streaming on Mondays, because streaming for 4 days straight basically cuts out a whole lot of stuff that I could be doing, like taking classes on graphic design and, you know, doing better edits on the streams and that kind of thing. So anyway, yeah, it was needed for me to quit Mondays. So with the holiday in place, that was appropriate. And I guess we're going to pray now. So what happened? So this officially is the last quest for 2.5. And then we jump into the next patch, which is 2.55. And I don't know how long that'll take. Probably a couple of streams before we get through that, at least. Maybe 2 or 3. Forgive me, mon Brida, had I been quicker or wiser. But I was not, and you paid the price. But you would not suffer us to wallow in our sorrow, would you? You would tell us to pick ourselves up and get on with it. Get over it! So we shall. We shall defend this realm and her people to the last. Oh, life or death, a fair exchange. Other bargains will be struck. Okay, I have no idea what that means. And I'm pretty sure that no one else saw that either. It was just me and Midsgardian or whatever his name is. Show your respect to the mark. Yes. And now I got to go back to Menophilia. And we're going to go teleport back to Reverence Toll. Stola is at the bar having a drink. I hope it's a stiff one. Though we have said our farewells, the pall of sadness has diminished but little. Forgive me, as antecedent, 'tis my job to be the pillar of strength for all others to lean on. Yet I also believe the grief we now feel now is precious in its own way and not to be lightly swept aside. Do you not agree, Chad? Of course I do. All right. So I wonder what well, she's going to go into what? She's going to start bawling her eyes out. 'Tis as if a dagger has been thrust into my breast. But 'tis a pain we must learn to bear if we are to forge ahead with our duty. The battles we have fought have taken the lives of so many. Louisoix, Monbreda, our fellows at the Waking Sands. Their spirit and dedication to our cause, however, will never be lost as long as we rise to fight once more. I hardly need to remind you of this, of course. 'Tis for our own benefit that I repeat these words, a reaffirmation of mine own chosen path. If I do not rebuild the foundation of my resolve, I am like to collapse in a fit of weeping. My apologies again, Chad. There is no other to whom I could display such weakness. Oh, I should feel, I don't know, honored? Maybe? Possibly? You are my pillar of strength, and I fear I shall have need of your steadfast presence in the days to come. Hubba hubba. Okay then. Glad to hear it. A victory won, a comrade lost. To honor the fallen, the living forge ever on, towards the light of a new day. Okay. It's going to continue. Or am I have... Oh. Okay, and now we're... Yeah, next scenario quest. Mask of Grief, Insulted Intelligence. The Mask of Grief. Minophilia has a request to make of you. Have you a moment, Chad? I believe Ida wished a word with you. I should consider it a personal favor if you would lend a sympathetic ear to her troubles. She has not been herself since Moen Breda's passing, and my heart aches to see her so downcast. All right, so it sounds like Chad's got to go play man whore or something. I don't know. I get to attend to all the scions' sad wishes, desires, etc. Ida, what's up, lady? Hey, it's Chad. Great. Oh. Oh, it's no use. I'm trying to stay positive, but it's just hard, you know? The thing is, I know Moen would tell me off if she saw me moping around like this, which is why I decided to cheer myself up by getting her a special flower. I placed an order for a moon daisy with Rowena a little while ago, and it's ready to be picked up. The trouble is, I find Rowena are a bit difficult at the best of times, and well, this isn't one of them. I know it's silly, but I just can't face it at the moment. So I was wondering, do you think you could maybe collect it for me? I have the coin to pay for the flower right here. Thank you so much. I'll be waiting for you in the daisy at Ratherfrost. Thanks for the coin. I guess I'm going to go fetch flowers now. And the flower payment to Rowena. Where is she? She is outside the gate, obviously. Okay. Let's get out of here. Estola, I'm going to need that drink soon. Oh. I don't know how far she is. She can't be that far. Rowena's House of Splendors. There she is. Alright. Hello. What can I do for you today, adventurer? Eldritch trinket to trade? Eh, they've got you running errands now. Snort. Yeah, no kidding. Them scions really know how to make the most of their talents, don't they? Sending the savior of Eorzea to Bleeding Market. Fine, use your time, that is. Fine use of your time, that is. Seriously, though, you'd best learn how to say no, or they'll have you mucking out the Chocobo stables next. I fully expect that to be a quest. Yes. Anyway, what was it that you were here to pick up? The moon daisy, was it? Here, then, take it. And tell that Ida lass I've got a wide selection of headwear in stock if she ever decides to replace that dowdy old mask of hers. God knows she needs to. Yeah, I'd like to see her eyes. That'd be kind of fun to see what she actually looks like under the mask. Yeah. Alright, so these are all Are these folks actually... What do you have? Oh, yeah, they do. Oriental Snow Cave. What the hell? Lightly packed pile of snow hollowed out and formed into a tiny dwelling. A thin coating of eternal ice ensures the snow cave will never melt. It sells for 57... Oh, okay, so you have to pay 10,000 gil for it, and then it sells for 57. Frolicking Beasts. An unfolding partition commonly found in the Far East nations. Upon one side is a reproduction of the ancient... This sounds like... These sound like things that you put in your house or dwelling. And I don't have a dwelling, so I guess that's... Yeah. Okay, I don't need any of that stuff, I guess. Luxury trader, what do you got? Bicolor, gemstone vouchers, small talk, nothing. Okay, luxury, what do you have? A gilded Mukoshi flute, 50 million gil. Wow. The thrill of this fin-carved flute will summon a squad of gilded Namazu to bear you upon a gilded Miko Oshi, all of which is as gaudy as it sounds. Well, if you could afford 50 million gil to buy some shit like that, yeah, I guess. Magitech Avenger G1 identifier. A thin rectangular piece of what appears to be cerbent. Placing it near your Magitech Avenger G1 will magically bring the machine to life. Okay. And then this is a horn. When blown, this garish horn emits an ostentatious sound that summons forth Chrysithomalus, the golden ram of legend. Okay. None of this sounds like anything that I want to spend anything on, and I don't have the gil anyway, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, well, huh. Go through the marketplace here. That's interesting because, I mean, that shit is expensive. So it's kind of like, okay, is this stuff that I'm going to need to spend money, or no, obviously you don't need to spend money, but it's like, people make that much gil in this game? Obviously not from just questing. They gotta be making this stuff for, wait a second, am I going this way? Deliver the moon days to the Ida and... Oh, I'm not going this way. I need to go... Nope, I don't need to go... Or maybe I do need to go on Wrath of Frost. I don't know whether she's inside or not. Is she? Or is she someplace else? I can't tell. Oh, no, she's... Oh, she's up there where... Okay, never mind. No, I don't want to into the Rising Stone. So I need to go back to where we buried... Or where we had the ceremony for Moen. Got it. And I will mount up for this. So I'm guessing you cannot fly directly to that location. They probably have some kind of barrier set up. There she is. Hi, let me get off my mount here. Thank you. Right, Ida. Ugh, Rowena can be so annoying. She just will not take no for an answer. Every time I visit her, she insists I replace my visor with something more fashionable. And when I tell her I like it just fine the way it is, she says it again, and then again, and then again. It drives me crazy. Well, she has a point, right? What I mean is, to really say is, I really appreciate you doing this for me. So anyway, let's see it. Here's your flower. Flower. Simon Brita loved these things, and you know, I hope that somewhere or somehow she knows I'm still thinking of her. Aw. So is everybody like going to be sad and sappy and have me go running errands for them so they can come up and place sacrifices? And I'll never forget you, Moen. None of us will. Ah, my little friend. The song riseth to a crescendo. Oh boy. And we've got flying monkeys? No, no flying monkeys. Is that what I think it is? Well, they're not flying monkeys. Let me take this cell phone call. Hello, can you hear me? Oh, yes, okay. We're in a cell phone commercial. We have received grave tidings from Ishgard. Please return to the Rising Stones at once. We got to go back. She goes, okay. See you, bye. And we both go, poof. Now, are we magically going to be back at the Rising Stone, or am I going to have to, like, fly there? Deliver the Moon Daisy to... Yeah, I already did that. Oh, see, now, that's interesting, okay, because the cutscene shows everyone leaving, right? But yet, I got to get over there anyway. I'm going to go ahead and take my mount and just... I'm going to see if I can, like, go directly there. I don't think I can. Maybe I can. You can mount... Nope. See, I ran into the barrier. All right. So, that mystery has been solved. Camp Reverence Toll. Speak to Alphanod at the Rising Stones. Okay, so now we got Alphanod crying. That's my guess. Istola is still drinking. So she's going to be like a complete fucking mess. Ida's back to crying in her cereal. Palpameo's over here. Thancred's over there. Oh, Alphanod. That's right. That little shit. All right. Let's see what he has to say. All right, Alphanod. Alphanod. My apologies for the interruption. I was deeply saddened to learn of Moen Breda's passing. Her loss will be sorely felt. On the other hand, alas, recent developments in Ishgard leave us little time to mourn. So get over it. The envy from Corythus will soon arrive. The envoy from Corythus will soon arrive, and we must hasten to hear her report. God, I can't talk today. That's even after like a cup and a half of coffee. Come on now. Alphanod awaits the arrival of the Ishgardian envoy. Yep. We will accept that and move on. The envoy is here. It's Lucia. I thank you for, or Lucia, either way. Thank you for receiving much at such short notice. Time is of the essence, so I would forego the usual pleasantries as I may. Certainly, you come with news of Dravanians. Aye, the dragons have begun their attack in earnest. The first wave reached the central highlands a short while ago, and battle has joined soon thereafter. Sir Ermic himself sallied forth with a contingent of temple knights and several companies of the noble house's finest. Though the beasts were ultimately forced into retreat, our victory, if such it may be called, came at the cost of many of our own. Too many. We will not withstand a second wave should the Dravanians renew their assault. You paint a grim picture, my lady. It is reinforcements you seek, then? We do. Though it pricks our pride, it is plain we cannot protect Ishgard with our ranks thus thinned by the Horde. Ah, for the Horde. Ugh. Sir Ermic would meet with you to discuss the possibility of enlisting your aid. So now we're going to have crossover between World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy XIV, right? Yeah. Very well. I shall depart for Corthius at once. I must warn you, however, that I'm completely useless. I must warn you, however, that the involvement of the Crystal Braves is by no means assured. Our commitment to quelling the unrest in Ul'dah must take precedence. It is with such contingencies in mind that I must make another request. The Scions of the Seventh Dawn are known for sharing close ties with all three of the grand companies of the Eorzea. Would you consent to plead our case in their leaders? Though I will gladly appeal to the grand companies on your behalf, I dare not promise a favorable reply. You need say no more. Considering our past dealings with the Eorzean alliance, I can well imagine how our plea will be received. But the fate of Ishgard hangs in the balance. We must explore every avenue still open to us, no matter how unpromising. I see. Very well. I shall send envoys to each of the allied nations and have them present your request directly to the heads of the grand companies. In the event that your plea does not receive a favorable answer, I know that any support is certain to be conditional. Demands will be made of Ishgard. That is only to be expected. Rest assured that I speak with Sir Ermic's authority in this matter, and that our actions are fully sanctioned by the Holy See. Which brings me to my final request, a personal appeal to you, Warrior of Light. I'm not a Warrior of Light anymore, remember? That's no longer a phrase I can use. The Lord Commander much desires to speak with you, regardless of your fellow's involvement. You faced Midgard Storm and survived. Anything you can share of your experience may yield us an advantage over our foe. And I probably nod, which I did. Thank you. You wear the mantle of hero well. 'Twould seem the road leads us both to Camp Dragonhead. Seek me out when you arrive, Chad. So I have to go to Camp Dragonhead. And go talk to the boss man. Oh, but first, we're going to hear some organ music. Okay. Oh, it's her. Haven't seen her for a while. Well, since she disappeared from the dungeon. The sons must answer for their father's misdeeds. Only then will the cycle be broken. Okay, Iceheart. And she's going to send up an orb that does something. Is it a signal? Ow. Brothers and sisters of the heavens, we raise our voices and join you in the chorus. We? What's this we shit? The sinner's feeble magics are undone. Come, claim your retribution. Alright. And become Game of Thrones all over again. Yeah. Oh, these cutscenes are so dramatic. It's like, really? Can you guys like not take yourself so damn seriously? All right, so I have to go to Camp Dragonhead, and I'm just going to portal there right now. Camp. Nope, not Drybone. Dragonhead. There we go. Cannot execute at this time. Oh, that's because I had something hovering. Okay. I need to go over here and talk to Alphanod, who's like standing in the middle of the courtyard, greasing his ass off because he doesn't wear the right kind of clothes. Of course, I should talk, right? I mean, Chad's not exactly dressed for cold weather. It seems I was the swifter, Chad. You too, however, have arrived with time to spare, for our host has yet to make an appearance. The murmurings about camp tell of some manner of trouble at the gates of judgment. In the Lord Commander's absence, I suggest we visit the place and find out what is afoot. All right, and I need to go someplace. How far away is this? Oh, not found. Okay. New location to go to, I gather? All right, we will travel there. Gates of Judgment. There's Alphanod. Oh, we got what? We got a couple of different quests that show up here now? Question the knights at the... Okay, so I got to talk to the knights. It's a bothered bowman. He looks bothered. He's like sitting there propping himself up on the gate. The gates of judgment are much more than mere doors. They are the outermost layer of Ishgard's magical wards. If our first line of defense can be so easily shattered. And then we've got a... What is this? I can't see. It is a tenter-hooked temple knight. When I laid eyes upon Lady Iceheart, I felt the marrow freeze within my bones. Okay, so we now know it was Iceheart that did this. Dyspeptic Dragoon. I'm gonna have to get a dictionary and look all this stuff up because I have no idea what dyspeptic. Hang on, I've got to find this out. Hold on. Webster. You thought I was kidding. All right. Now the question is, can I actually see it? Got a D. DYS? Yeah, DYS. That's too far. I'm in the E's now. It's not an E. DYS. God, I can't read this. I can't read it because I have the wrong glasses on. So it's too small for my current prescription that I have to play the game. So let's do it this way. Tell me about... DYSPEPTIC. Okay. Relating to or suffering from pain caused by digestive problems. I went through all of that. This guy's got a stomach ache. Okay. Oh, God. Heretic scum, how dare you meddle with our divine protections? I shall rid our nation of their blasphemy, even if it means cutting them down one by one. So, in other words, this guy's just belly aching. Oh, okay. I like that. Trembling Temple Knight. There's a Trembling Temple Knight. We need not fret over much. There are yet several layers of arcane protection that shield the city from invasion. Mother will be fine. And now I go back to Alphanod. Alright, what have you got to say? Alfie. Twould seem the heretic struck the first and most telling blow against Ishgard. Scions, we expected you at Camp Dragonhead. My apologies. We chanced to hear that there had been trouble at the gates and thought it prudent to investigate the cause. Then you have learned of the heretic's treachery. Lady Iceheart led a force of her followers against our defenders and came close enough to dispel the first of our wards. But let us speak more of this back at the camp. Sir Eremic awaits you. Alright, so we got to go back to Camp Dragonhead. Alphanod seems eager to return to Camp Dragonhead. You think? Lady Iceheart has grown bold indeed. If she would risk direct action against the city, come, let us do as we were bid and return to Camp Dragonhead. Lord Harchefant will know where Sir Eremic means to receive us. Okay. And off we go. And it's a short jaunt, so I'll just like fly over there. That's not where I need to be, apparently. Oh, I need to be inside. Okay. Well, we shall go inside of that. There's Harchefant. Let me get off my mount. Jump over the table. 'Tis reassuring indeed to behold the countenance of a man when one's homeland teeters upon the very brink of disaster. Though a single misstep could send us plunging into the abyss, your heroic presence stokes the flames of courage within my heart. Ah, but you did not come to Dragonhead to listen to my prattling. The Lord Commander has arrived and would treat you with you in the Intersory. Intersory? Alright, and yeah, so I go where? Not that direction. Hi, guys. Am I headed the right way? Or is it downstairs? I bet you it's downstairs, so jump. Splat. Here we go. House Fortemp's guard. Greetings, sir. Shall I show you inside? Please. Intercessory. Alright. Eremic. Too far away. I thank you for coming with such haste, and apologize for my absence. Suffice it to say, Lady Iceheart and her heretics had much to answer for. Yes, we are but recently returned from the gates of judgment ourselves. Given the circumstances, we quite understand if you would prefer to postpone our appointed audience. Yes, to think about it. On the contrary, Master Alphanod, I think it more important than ever that this meeting take place. Rest assured, I shall return to my post on Ishgard's walls the moment our business is concluded. Before we move on to the subject of reinforcements, however, I would introduce you to a close friend and stalwart ally, Estinian. Oh, he's got the jingle jangle. Okay. He's all haughty and... Well, hello there. May I present to you Ishgard's Azure Dragoon? Hello, Dragoon. An impressive title, though I confess I know precious little of the Order of Dragoons. I have a Dragoon. I have a Dragoon alt, and I haven't leveled her very far, and she doesn't have armor that looks like that, but that'd be cool. They are formidable warriors all, yet even among our such masters of the lance, Estinian is without equal. He, out of all the warriors of Ishgard, was chosen to wield the power of dragons, and may thus contend with any Dravanian. You flatter me much, overmuch, Lord Commander. So you are the adventurer of whom they spoke. I see now why my blood fair sang in anticipation of our meeting. Okay. Well, now that we have all been introduced, let us proceed to the matter at hand. I would share with you what we have learned of Iceheart's design, as confessed by the heretics taken captive after the assault on the gates. 'Twould seem that Lady Iceheart and Dravanians share a common goal, the reclamation of Nidhogg's stolen eye. Nidhogg's stolen eye? What the hell is that? Nidhogg, one of the 7 great rhymes? His name features prominently in your nation's history, though once defeated by the hero Haldrath, the beast is said to have terrorized Korthus since Ishgard's founding. Aye, many are the scars our walls bear from Nidhogg's relentless efforts to raise the city. The trophy Haldrath plucked from the bested Rhyme's skull, known simply as the Eye, is a treasure relic of Ishgard, and one possessed of untold power. Should it ever be returned to Nidhogg, the dread creature would be restored to the height of his strength, and then no wall or ward we could erect would be stout enough to deny him. My vengeful son hath waged war against Ishgard for 1,000 years. No mortal mind could comprehend the depths of his rancor. This is the voice of Nishgardson. The eye itself is secreted deep within the vault. It is kept under heavy guard, surrounded by at all times by men and women who have proven their loyalty to the Holy See. But those stout walls and sharp blades may suffice to discourage the heretics. The dragons are another matter. There are individuals within the Dravanian horde whom are an entire company of knights would labor to repel, and say nothing of Nidhogg himself. Hidhogg. Nor does age rob them of their strength, though the endless march of years the dragons endure. Patient, calculating, inexplorable, inexorable, they must understand these creatures do not share our perception of time. And that is especially true of the great rhymes. They who spend centuries in slumber only to wake and resume their campaign as if mere hours had passed. It has been 20 years since Nidhogg last darkened our skies. 20 years for him to gather his strength and for us to bolster our defenses. And now, just as he seems primed to return, the heretics strike at the gates. And believe that Lady Iceheart is in the league of the creature then? Of that we cannot be certain, though we know the heretics covet the eye, and we have been unable to determine their plans for it. Such questions aside, we must address the ragged hole that Mistress has seen fit to rend in Ishgard's protections. This weakness the Dravanians are not like to leave untested. So it would seem you have described your plight in admirable detail, Lord Commander. Yet I cannot help but wonder at your candor. Why share such sensitive information with us? I shall speak plain. Ishgard has need of allies, and I would have you bolster our front lines in readiness for the coming battle against the dragons. This much I expected. Unlike our arrangement concerning the Keeper of the Lake, however, only you stand to benefit from our assistance in this matter. I fail to see why we should intervene in a conflict which concerns only Ishgard and Dravania. When the Eorzean Alliance requested Ishgard's assistance during Operation Archon, you refused us. Does it not seem grossly unjust to demand that we now risk our lives in your private war? I make no attempt to defend our country's conduct. I only ask that you consider what would follow were Ishgard to fall. Having razed our city to the ground, the Horde would have little cause to linger, and most would return to their lairs in Dravania. Soon thereafter, the ruins of Korthus would be buried in snow, and the land would become the sole province of beasts and beastmen. Until the Garleans' arrival, that is. For you may be certain that the Empire would not hesitate to claim Korthus. They would not even have to draw steel. So he has a point. And Alphanod is now considering an imperial province sharing a border with Mordana? 7 hells. Yeah, that would be good. Ahem. Very well. We will assist you in repelling the dragons. A roar of a great rhyme may have shaken the firmament, but we of Eorzea will not abandon our Ishgardians brothers to face the coming horde alone. Nor did I ever think that you would. Now, upon the matter of the roar. Allow me, Sir Ermic. Through the power of the eye, I have become the vessel of Nidhogg's strength. His essence has stolen into my very blood. Okay. Fear not, I am in full control of my faculties, I assure you, and the eye itself is of no relevance to this tale. It is not essential that I bear it with me wheresoever I go. Its lingering influence does, however, allow me to hear Nidhogg's voice. Then the rhyme who roared was Nidhogg. Aye, he means to hurl his horde against Danafin's collar and shatter the remaining wards that protect the city. There can be no doubt the rhyme has summoned his minions to war. Ooh, exciting. All right, let's see. I did the speaking, so now I guess I have to talk to Alphanod. Though the circumstances are far from ideal, the desperate endeavor will at least provide us an opportunity to bring the sister states of Eorzea together in common cause. Sir Ermic was more ruthless in his negotiations than I had anticipated. I suppose one must give no quarter when one's home is at stake. But did you see the look on his face when he formally requested our assistance? Though the Lord Commander has long campaigned for Ishgard to open its gates to outsiders, I suspect his softening of the Holy See's attitude toward foreign cooperation comes as something of a bittersweet victory. The days ahead promise to be interesting indeed. And the days ahead are probably leading into the 2.55, because that was the first quest for that. So we're now on the back end of the in-between, and just on the doorsteps. Well, not really. I don't know. We've got, what, about 20 more. Let's see, how many more? We got about, let's see, Massive Grief, Rhyme's Roar, Committed to the Cause. Yeah, Committed to the Cause is the next one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 more before we get into Heavensward. All right. Unfortunately, I got to take a quick break, and I will be right back. All right, let's finish this session here. Alpha Naut is ready to begin making preparations for war. If we are to aid the Ishgardians in this war of theirs, preparations will have to be made soon. Before proceeding, however, we must needs return to the Rising Stones and make our report to the antecedent. All right, so I got to go talk to Menophilia. So we'll go back to Reverence Toll. Oh, wrong door. I keep, like, reappearing in different sides of the stone. It's like, wait a second. Not that door. It's the other one. Hi, Menophilia. You need that hug yet? And she's talking at me. And here comes short stuff. Alpha Nod, it is good to see you. Tell me, what have you learned? Pray summon the others. Everyone must hear my report. Alpha Mio is like pondering. Everyone's like going, huh? So this is all but a taste of what's to come. Indeed, the main host advances upon Ishgard as we speak. Whose vaunted defenses have been nullified? Shorn of its wards, the city will bear the full force of Nighod, Hog's fury. All those people. Alphanot is right. Devonians cannot be allowed to prevail. If Ishgard falls, all of Eorzea will suffer the consequences. Thank you, Thancred. Then you agree that we have no choice but to intervene. For the good of the realm, the Signs of the Seventh Dawn and the Crystal Braves must join the defense of Ishgard. Let there be no ambiguity about what has been proposed. We would be directly intervening in the war. But if all here believe the cause to be just, then to war we shall go. The path we now embark upon is perilous, but I pray you will walk with us to the end. The end? Wait a second. Chad's perfect hair isn't ready to finish. For those we have lost, and for those we can yet save. Alright, Alphanod, come on. Then it is settled. I shall inform the council of our intentions and request that they contribute their own forces to the defense of Ishgard. Everyone nods. In unison. Okay, Menophilia probably wants to talk at me. Or maybe not. Okay, what's that all about? Committed to the cause. Oh, I got some decent XP off of that. 2,340 XP. So before this quest, I was getting something like 50 to 100, maybe 200 XP. So that one actually gave me some. So I guess they're expecting me to be able to start leveling again, because I'm now almost up to 53. Menophilia would have you assist with the preparations being made for the defense of Ishgard. Now, the reason I mention that is because the in-between probably was set up as like story, and they didn't want you to like... They probably hadn't made a decision about the leveling process yet. So because it took them so long and they had like 6 patches that went in there, they were probably mulling over how they were going to do the leveling. That would be my guess anyway. Looking at it from a historical perspective, that's probably what they did. So they minimize the amount of XP that you get in the first 5 patches of the in-between stuff. And so you don't out-level the content. I guess that's what it was all about. And we got another cutscene with Menophilia. I have bid the Archons travel to their assigned nations. Should the members of the Alliance, agree to pledge Grand Company soldiers to Ishgard's cause, our comrades will be on hand to act as intermediaries for the duration of the conflict. The small matter of persuading the Alliance leaders to grant such support I leave to Alphanod. For you, my friend, a different task awaits. I would have you reach out to your fellow adventurers and gather what allies you may for the coming siege. I would also have you consider the matter of our own security. Reverence Toll is but a short flight from the snowfields of Korthus, and it is not unimaginable that the fighting may spill across the border. Pray brief Slaffborn on the brewing conflict and discuss potential contingencies. The frontier settlers must be prepared for naught and might wing its way over our walls. I only hope that such precautions prove unnecessary. Before you leave, Maya suggests that you have Tataru accompany you. She has a talent for administration and a firm grasp of practical challenges we may encounter. Yeah, I get to take Tataru with me on Tataru Tuesday. Yay! That's appropriate. And we're back. So I'm going to go talk to Tataru. Yes, I need to leave. And she's right here. Hello, young lady. How are you? We are rather close to Korthus, aren't we? We'd best see to our own defenses and take stock. Spock? Live long and prosper, right? Okay, take stock of our supplies. Yes, okay, thanks. Oh, and we'll also need to have beds and bandages laid out just in case. A good receptionist is ready for any eventuality. Let's go, Chad. I've 101 things to discuss with Slaffborn. He's the dude right outside the door. Well, of the other building, not this one. I don't need to entrance. Yep, he's over here. I appreciate the warning. If war is coming to Korthus, then toll must be made ready. I'll increase the number of patrols and lookouts immediately. I'll also see about finding room for an infirmary, as well as a temporary housing for victims of the conflict. Ishgard has done well by us in the past, and I would return the favor. But as for rounding up volunteers for the fighting itself, I'm afraid I must disappoint you. I will not send my fellow guild members to die on Ishgardian soil, and I am certain headquarters will say the same. There will be no official Adventurers Guild presence at this siege. That said, each adventurer is of course free to do as he or she will. I shall have word with some of our more capable colleagues on their behalf, and you might try your luck here in Reverend's Toll. Dare say there are a few stout souls about town who will answer your call to arms. All right, so I'm imagining that there are people around. Let's see. But first, I need to talk to Tataru. Let's get started, shall we? We have a town to rouse. Yes, we do. And she's going that direction. So it looks like I've got four people to talk at. Accomplished adventurer. Hello, you look like someone who's capable of going with me. And I explain myself, and the accomplished adventurer says, no, spare me your talk of glory and fame. I'm not in the habit of volunteering for lost causes. I have survived this long by trusting my instincts, and my instincts tell me to stay away from Ishgard. See you, bye. Hello. You got something you want to talk to me about? Let's go over here in the shade. Ishgard sounds like she's in a right mess, and that ain't what I wanted to talk to you about. I need ye to cast your mind back to that scuffle with the Empire out by the processing plant. A lad with a little alamigo by the name of Old Wildred was there with the Fourth that day, and I wanted to know if you've seen him since. Have you? Nope. Don't know who you're talking about. God damns it. I feared as much. No one's bloody seen him. It's like the ground opened up and swallowed him whole. But that ain't all. Around the time Wildred stopped turning up for duty, them black market weapons went missing from our vault in Ul'dah. So now, of course, half the braves suspect the lad of making off with the goods. Folk like to believe our company's a disciplined fighting force, but as you and me both know, it's no more than a motley collection of mercenaries, adventurers, and Grand Company veterans. The only thing as binds us together is some vague oath about fighting for the freedom of all, but that's an unsteady pay. Now compared to most others in this crew, Wildred's a fresh-faced novice, a bleeding whelp amongst wolves. But the boy's got passion. When we talked about being the guardian of Eorzea, he bloody well meant it. A lad like him wouldn't rob us blind and booger off like that. He ain't the type. And then, and this is just between you and me, mind, there's the fact that the lad wanted to tell me about something queer he'd noticed in the ledgers, something about the Braves numbers not adding up. Aye, there's a villain at the end of this trail I've stumbled upon, and I'll bet me good eye it ain't young Wildred. Any road, we've got a war to wage, so I'll let you get on. I just thought someone should know. I'll be seeing you, Chad. Okay, so there's someone inside of the Braves is causing problems as well. Okay. So hopefully I won't get interrupted and I can finish this quest before I got a jet. Well, this one's leading me out this direction, so let's go talk to the adventurous frontier hand. Okay. So Ishgard seeks sellswords to bolster his ranks, eh? Though I'm not sure I like the sound of that, of the siege, those nobles will surely be generous with their rewards. So is that a yes? Ah, but I have pledged myself to guard Reverend's Toll. Modest work though it is, I am loath to break the terms of my contract. What to do, what to do. Okay, he hasn't committed to squat. Let's see what's going on over here. We got someone up on the wall, apparently. We'll go up on the wall last. Talk to whoever's over here first. Is there someone in here? Ah, angular. It's an angular adventurer. Angular? He looks kind of linear to me. Volunteer my services for the defense of Ishgard? I think not. God, no one wants to do anything. Dragons claim the lives of every one of my brothers. I do not mean to offer them mine. 'Twas to escape such a fate that I took up the mantle of adventure in the first place. I would sooner die in the pursuit of fortune than huddled behind an icy wall. All right, so 3 out of 4 have said no chance. So now we got to go out. And I think they said this person is up. So let's get on my mount and go up on top of the wall. Up somewhere. Where? Up there? Ah, there he is. It's an austere adventurer. Hello, austere. What's up, austere? Sell me blade to the Ishgardians? Well, them dragons are a fearsome lot, but I'd say me fair share if the coin was good. I've worked for one of them nights before, you know. Watched me like a bloody hawk, he did. Still, I'd put up with worse than that for a heavy purse. So he said, I got 1. All right, so I got 1. That's it. And we're going to go turn this one in. All right, Tataru. There you are, Chad. So, did you sway any hearts? Just 1. 1 or 2, eh? Well, added to mine, that makes 3 or 4, not including Slaftborn's friends. We won't have the largest company in the army, but I'd say one Reverence Toll veteran is worth a dozen clanking knights at least. Cool. And here's a good place for me to stop for the day. I need to go do some real life stuff, and yeah, that's okay. Besides, I'm not in any rush to level, as you guys have figured out, so we will pick up with Tataru next Tuesday, which is appropriate because it's Tataru Tuesday, right? If I don't see you before the next time I see you, have a good day, have a good afternoon, have a wonderful evening. Thanks for stopping by. Be sure and drop a follow, or, you know, give me a subscription, or, I don't know, subscribe, or whatever it is that you do. Give me a thumbs up. Check out my social media, and I will see you soon. Bye now. Love ya.